Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I help freelancers, agencies, and consultants land clients. If LinkedIn were a man, I would date and marry him. That's how much I love this platform. I use LinkedIn almost every single day and it has been pivotal in helping my students and I land clients. In this video, you're going to learn a no-fluff LinkedIn marketing strategy. The goal is to not only get you in front of more people, but get you in front of the right people. All right, first things first. Before we can even start to talk about posting, we want to make sure that your profile is set up properly. This is the foundation. You don't want to build on top of a shaky foundation. This is part of your LinkedIn marketing strategy. Now, I've already got a ton of videos on this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but here is the condensed version. Step 1, make sure you know your primary and secondary keywords. Step 2, use those keywords in your LinkedIn URL, your headline, your about section, and your employment history. We call this optimizing your profile. And step 3, create a compelling LinkedIn profile banner image using a free tool like Canva. If you heard all of that and you're just like, wait, what? Just scroll down. All of the help you need is in videos that I've already published. Start here. This stuff is important. Once your profile is, we can move on to posting on LinkedIn. This is where your marketing strategy is really going to come into play. When you're coming up with your ideas for your LinkedIn posts, there's one main question I want you to ask yourself. How can I help people? Okay, how can I provide value? How can I be of service? Your LinkedIn marketing strategy hinges on giving people a reason to care about you, and you get them to care by giving them something that they need. This could be something educational or inspirational. Let's break it down into smaller steps that should hopefully feel a little more concrete. Step number 1, you want to ask yourself, who is my audience? All right, so let's use as an example, one of my students in Revenue Spark, she's a freelance writer. So her audience, again, this is an example, is brands that use content, specifically blogs, to help build awareness and bring more traffic to their website, okay? That's her audience. Step number 2, ask yourself, what is my audience struggling with? So continuing with my student as an example, her audience, which is the brands we mentioned, they're struggling with ranking higher in Google. Okay, this is something that's very important to them. It's a big goal, but they're having a hard time with it because it's not easy. Step number 3, you want to ask yourself, how can I solve this problem? So using my student as an example, we said, okay, so your audience needs help ranking in Google. You know how to do that. What's some advice that you can offer them? What does ranking in Google involve? And then we made a list. It involves keyword research, topic research, SEO. Those are topics that she creates LinkedIn posts around. And you might already be thinking, well, wait a minute, why would I help them for free? Then they're not going to hire me. If your service can be offered in a single LinkedIn post, and it would negate the need for any brand to hire you, we've got another issue to discuss. So don't worry about providing free value. This is how you build an audience. I provide free value all the time. Look at my YouTube channel. Okay, so those 3 questions are going to help you come up with posts. Who is my audience? What are they struggling with? And how can I help? Here's another example. My audience. A lot of people watching these YouTube videos, they're freelancers, consultants, and agencies. They're struggling with landing clients. So most of my LinkedIn posts cater to that, but more specifically, I talk about generating leads, I talk about LinkedIn, cold emailing, beating imposter syndrome, because these are all factors that play a role in landing clients. So you might be hearing all of this and thinking, well, wait a minute, these posts aren't going to make me any money, they're not going to land me any clients. How are these LinkedIn posts going to help me sell my products and services? I'm telling you this from experience because I've tested it 1,000,001 times, okay? As an example, I used to post about my program, Revenue Spark, on a daily or weekly basis, I think a few times a week, okay? So I would share a testimonial, which testimonials are super powerful when used the right way. But what I was doing was I was sharing a testimonial and then I was telling people, DM me if you want to enroll in my program, or, comment if you want to talk more. Did those posts get some traction? Yeah, a little bit. But my point here is that point blank telling people, hire me, buy my services, buy my products, enroll in my course. It doesn't work. Nobody wants to be sold to. You have to give them, remember, you have to give them a reason to care. When you share posts like that, you're not giving them anything of value. In fact, you are asking them for a favor. You are asking them for money. It's not going to work. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to make money off of LinkedIn, okay? You're going to indirectly. So, as an example, I use LinkedIn, my students use LinkedIn to source leads and then connect with those leads, okay? So the majority of our business, the relationship starts on LinkedIn. 99.999% of the people who enroll in my program, Revenue Spark, they find me here on YouTube, but then they go to my LinkedIn page. So don't be discouraged. I tell you all of this because you don't want it to discourage you if it's not as simple as post on LinkedIn, close a client. That's what we all want. That would be really nice, but that's just not how it works. All right, so at this point, we've talked about setting up your LinkedIn profile and what to post. I have additional videos on both of these things, so just remember that the links are below. How often should you post? I've got a video on this too. Post as frequently as you can. Number 1, stay consistent, and number 2, maintain the quality. I used to post 3 times a day, and that's because it worked. Then it stopped working. So I played around with my posting frequency, and right now I'm posting once a day, and the results are noticeably better. With the way the LinkedIn algorithms work, the more engagement your posts get, the more they push that post out to new people. And then the more engagement you get. And then the more they push it out to people. So it's this never-ending cycle. And that's why, unlike other platforms, like maybe Instagram, where recency, is that a word? Where newer posts tend to do better. On a platform like LinkedIn, you can have a post from a week ago still generating engagement. And it's because LinkedIn is just looking at what's performing well. Everything I've told you in this video is going to help you start generating inbound leads, inbound sales, which means that potential clients are coming to you, okay? But I've told you before, I would not rely on this alone, especially if you are just starting to build your business. You want to put the control back in your hands and go out and approach your potential clients, okay? That's called outbound sales. So let's talk about sending invites. Now, one thing I notice a lot of professionals doing is they're very hung up on the number of connections that they have. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great to want to build your network over time, but some of you have told me that you'll kind of send invites, willy-nilly, and you'll just go down the line and hit connect a million times until you either get bored or LinkedIn suspends you. You're not doing yourself any favors, and actually, it's hurting your profile. Sending invites, just like your overall LinkedIn marketing strategy, is strategic. Send invites to people you think you can help, okay? Let's do another example. I have a content agency, and our niche is health and wellness. So I send invites to employees of health and wellness companies who work in my department, who work with content in some capacity. I also have my program, Revenue Spark. All of my students are agencies, they're freelancers, they're consultants, so I send invites to professionals like that because I can help them. I can especially help freelance writers because my background is in writing, so I send invites to writers and also editors. So I'm not sending invites to just anyone, and I'm certainly not obsessing over my number of connections because that number doesn't mean anything anyway if you're building a network with the wrong people. This is why I've told you not to obsess over going viral either. We'll save that for another video, but the point is that, just like having a ton of connections, going viral usually doesn't end up meaning that much because it's a bunch of random people. We want the people who are going to care most about us and about what we have to offer. All right, so we've talked about building your profile, what to post, and who to send invites to. This is the foundation of your LinkedIn marketing strategy. Guess what? At first, you might not get much action. And listen to me, this is totally okay. All of my social media channels were very quiet in the beginning. It was very sad and very discouraging. Today, at the time of this recording, I have a little over 5,300 subscribers on YouTube. In the beginning, I had none, and my views were sad. This took me a couple of years to build up. More recently, my Instagram reels, they used to get 40, 50 views. Now they're regularly getting close to or over 1,000. My posts on TikTok used to be crickets. No one watched them. They'd get, 40, 50, 60 views. Now it's slowly climbing. They're getting 300, 400. Every platform is the same, okay, in this respect. You're not going to see, any overnight miracles. And I know that is super satisfying and super fulfilling because we all want that instant gratification. If you want instant gratification, building a business is not for you. I've said it before. If you want to beat your competition, one of the best things that you can do is keep showing up. And that's because a lot of your competition is going to get bored, they're going to get discouraged, and they're going to quit. So to surpass them, just keep showing up. What you've learned today is just a taste of what I cover in my program Revenue Spark, the Client Accelerator, where I teach professionals like you my start-to-finish process for landing clients. If this is something you need help with, I've dropped the link below where you can check out the curriculum, and if you would like to move forward with a conversation, you can book a call with me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you found this video helpful, I'd be really grateful if you could give it a thumbs up and tell YouTube that you like my content. If you have any questions, just drop it in a comment below, and I'll see you next time.